Ja'Marr Chase took the NFL stage by storm on Thursday Night Football, and fans everywhere got to see the firepower he brought to the game. Meanwhile, the Miami Dolphins' Jalen Waddle, who was drafted right behind Chase in 2021, is facing a pretty rough stretch this season. It's not just a slump. This season is Waddle looking at his lowest numbers yet, far from the record-breaking 1,000-yard seasons he's given Miami fans every year since he joined the league. With 310 yards through 8 games, it's a steep drop-off for a player who's usually unstoppable. And to add some salt to the wound, Chase put up 46 yards more in just one wild game this week than Waddle has in almost half a season. That's a tough pill to swallow for fans used to seeing him shine. Now, of course, it's not entirely on Waddle. Let's remember that Tua Tagovailoa, his quarterback and close friend on and off the field, missed 4 games with an injury. That's bound to mess with the chemistry, right? But here's the thing, even with Tua back, Waddle hasn't fully hit his stride yet. In the games since Tua returned, Waddle's numbers have stayed on the low end, far from what fans are used to seeing. Sure, he's had some standout moments, but that steady, dominant presence, that's been missing. And it's not like the team hasn't been relying on him. They need him out there, and Waddle knows it. One play that sticks out for Dolphins fans? The chaotic final seconds of their loss to the Buffalo Bills. Down by a score, the Dolphins were desperate. As the clock ticked down, Devon Achane lateraled the ball to Waddle, who tried to make a miracle happen. But in a season where nothing seems to go his way, he was brought down by Buffalo's Gregory Rousseau, losing a precious 23 yards on that one play alone. It turned his stats for the game into an odd and painful sight, 2 catches for -4 yards. But even without that disaster of a final play, Waddle's season projection would only bump up slightly to 707 yards, a far cry from what fans had hoped for. Despite the frustrations, Waddle's attitude has been solid, at least if you ask Miami's offensive coordinator, Frank Smith. Smith talks about Waddle as more than just a player going through a rough patch. He sees Waddle as a teammate who's sticking to the grind, playing his role, and stepping up when it counts. One example Smith points to is Waddle's performance on that same Buffalo night. Late in the game, with Miami needing a clutch play, Waddle came through. He made a critical third down catch for 12 yards to keep the drive alive and then snagged a 7-yard touchdown to tie the score at 27. For a moment, he brought the team back to life. Smith sees that as a glimpse of Waddle's true value, even if the stats aren't showing it right now. Well, the great thing about it is you play a whole game and you're executing, you're doing your job for your teammates, Smith said. And then, at a critical moment, at a critical time, where we needed a critical reception, he makes it. That third down was huge, and then comes back, touchdown, huge. Smith praises Waddle's commitment and poise under pressure, even as the season feels like it's slipping away. Waddle isn't letting frustration take over, Smith says. Instead, he's there on the sidelines, pushing his teammates, lifting them up, doing what he can to get the team over the hump. That's the side of Waddle that doesn't show up on the stat sheet. The Dolphins coaching staff clearly values what Waddle brings, not just in terms of numbers, but in attitude, resilience, and grit. Smith drives home the point, so keep doing what you're doing because you're being a fantastic teammate and helping this football team. When you stay the course and you keep working at that level, it will come. The message is clear. Just because Waddle's numbers are down doesn't mean his impact is. With 9 games left, there's still a chance for Waddle to turn things around. He's a fighter, and Miami knows it. The stats may be lacking, but it's evident that Waddle hasn't lost his spirit. There's something about this season that feels like it's testing him, pushing him to dig deeper. And Dolphins fans? They're right there with him, hoping this quiet storm of a season is setting him up for a comeback, something that could bring his fire back when Miami needs it most. The team isn't giving up on him, and Waddle? He's not giving up on the team either.